Start to allow some deep belly breaths to flow. Many people have a morning beverage that gives them caffeine and the energy they need for the day. As we go through our practice today, imagine there's little tiny factories of energy all over your body. You're wanting the scientific side, that's the mitochondria in every cell. And imagine today as we take time to work all over the body, to stretch all over the body, to have gentle core strengthening. Imagine all of these are opportunities for the mitochondria to feed us energy. Little tiny factories of energy, kind of reaching within to feed us all the energy. And so then with our practice today, as we become full and energized and kind of passionate, it's like our cup is full rather than empty. Just kind of think to yourself, what is it that I would like to do with that to kick off my week? Is there something special this week? Maybe something I've been putting off that I'd like to make sure to include in my tasks? Or maybe one person I'm trying to reach out to that I haven't connected with in quite a while. Just kind of let these questions be on the back of the mind. What is it that I would like to do with this energy that I'm harnessing, this factory, this body I have? And so that'll be the little idea that'll get us kick-started off in our class today. And breathing is one of those biggest things to get the energy starting to flow. So let's pause here. Enough time to take 3 more deep, slow belly breaths. Really try to inflate the belly as much as you can. Just a long, relaxing exhale. Huge belly breath. One more. Good. Start to let the arms stretch to the space overhead. Think of that as giving your body that first stretch of the morning. Trying to pull the shoulders open. Pulling the side ribs a little longer. Take one more huge breath right there. Good inhale. With the exhale, as you release the arms circling through the sides, let the knees come in, hands up on the knees, right above us. Take a couple of easy rocking movements for the hips. Back to stillness right in the center. Roll the forehead into the knees. With an inhale, stretch the arms toward the back, legs toward the front, and circle right back around. Just 4 more of those. Imagine this is kind of kick-starting some of those factories. Huge inhales and exhales. Another 3. Two. And 1. Good. Head relaxes back down. Either left foot plants or left leg slides long. It's your preference. Right leg gets a chance to stretch up to sky. So this could be whatever feels good. Maybe some of us are focusing on the toes for a moment. Maybe some of us are focusing on trying to take the bend out of the knee, pulling that straight leg in. Whatever is useful for a couple of breaths. The right hand slides up as high as it can reach on that right leg, maybe ankle area, to kind of anchor itself high. Use that support to allow right leg to open out wide to the right. Leg lifts back above torso. Left hand takes over the side of that leg. And the left hand starts to weigh the leg to about a 45-degree angle, crossing over to left. The hip is just starting to lift off the ground. That's an IT band moment. Send a couple of easy breaths through that spot. Straight leg back above our body. Give it a little tug in. And then let the knee bend. Both hands clasp around the knee. Pull the knee in as tightly as it'll go to shoulder. Similarly to what we were just doing, the right hand supports the knee as it goes wide to the right. And knee lifts back over body, left hand takes over. It's that same 45-degree angle, just getting into the IT band. And feel free to continue to allow this knee to twist a bit deeper, as deep as the low back is happy with. Anchor right shoulder, the knee twist. So the depth bit feels nice. Let's take another huge inhale. Exhale. That right hip returns to the ground. Take one more little stretch of right leg up to sky. And then as we start to release this right leg, do with it whatever you did with the left leg before. Foot planted or leg straight on the ground. Whenever you're there, left leg starts off straight up to sky. Maybe ankle rolls, maybe working on hamstring already. Left hand anchors as high as it can on this foot. Support the straight leg going wide to left. Leg back up to sky, right hand takes over. 45-degree angle tilts across the body. And left hip all the way to floor, leg back up to sky, give a little tug. And as the knee bends, both hands clasp around the knee, pull that knee to shoulder. Left hand takes over, the leg goes wide. And lift the knee up, right hand takes over. That same 45-degree angle, tilt getting into IT band. And your choice if this wants to go a bit deeper toward a twist. Take another good inhale. Exhale. Hip goes to the ground. Maybe one last stretch, left leg up to sky. And then as we release, get both feet to plant, preparing for bridge pose. They're planted close to glutes, hands are on the floor by the hips. Let's lift up to bridge. So tailbones under, lift one vertebrae at a time. So from this high spot, what we're going to do to kind of engage the whole core, a lot of major muscle groups around here, is lift the hips up about an inch and lower down just about an inch. So it's not a significant movement. It's not a range of movement that we're about. It's about that little pulse up and down. So I'm going to do a countdown of about 10 more. It's okay if you're going slightly faster, slower than me. Let's take 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. By now you feel a lot of those muscles engaged, so start to roll the hips back down to the ground. Take the knees in to prepare to roll like a ball. Let's roll 2 or 3 times, ultimately balancing in boat pose. Good. So as we're in boat pose, easiest is hands on the ground. Next would be hands to thighs or hands free. Those that want more of a challenge, you're welcome to take a couple of rounds, extending the toes out, lower part way, go back in. You don't have to. You're welcome to just stay right here. So it's whatever's working. We're going just a little bit longer. Good, and back to stillness. A countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try to grab your ankles. Knees go wide. Pull it right into cobbler. Spine relaxes up and over. This is our first chance to start getting into some of the back muscles. So perhaps allow upper back to be super rounded, creating space all around the scapula. Maybe a slow roll back up. When the back muscles stretch that much, it doesn't like to just jump right out. So once we're out, take the knees up. We'll set up a hug around the shins. This might be fingers, it might be wrists, it might be elbows, whatever you can reach around the shins. And then to help that upper back, once again, round backwards, lots and lots of space in between shoulder blades. Then slow journey back out, making sure the back muscles aren't just immediately getting engaged. As we release, take it to cross leg with right leg in front. Find the hands on the floor, slide forward. Working to a new spot on the back. As hands work their way over to the right, We're trying to get back into the left shoulder blade. The little trick I'll sometimes do is try to get the left shoulder to drop down just a little bit. And that creates a little bit more space around that left shoulder blade. Good. Inch back over through center, over to left. If that shoulder blade thing feels good, this time it's right foot's trying to drop down. Just to help create more space, working on those factories a little bit more. What we do is sweep both arms to the center, plant the right hand to the right, left hand sweeps up and over, side rib stretch. And then sweep to the center, second side. Good. 3 times total, so 2 more each. Over to right. Over to left. And right. Left. And then however feels natural, ease your way back up. We'll take those same things, second side, left shin in front. So start off sliding hands forward. Walk the hands a little bit over to left, maybe right shoulder dips down a little. And second side, walk over to right, left shoulder dips a little. Good, and 3 swaying movements to each side. Circling up and over, and switching. Eventually cutting to 2. And 1. Good, easing the spine back up when we get there. Let both feet go back to planted. This time, instead of wrapping around shins, wrap around the thighs. It could be hands, forearms, elbows. The goal is to set torso to be glued right up to the thighs. And keeping that connection, start to inch 1 foot forward and the other. And you're just walking your feet forward to the point where it feels like the belly wants to separate from the thighs. So some of us might be right here at the beginning, that's about it. Some of us might be almost flat. Doesn't matter too much, it just depends on how the back and the hamstrings are doing right at this moment. So we're gonna give this one a little bit of extra time, then slow, deep breaths into the body. Once again, slow to come out. So let the hands find the floor and press into the hands to let the spine just gradually roll its way out. From there, slide the feet into plant, hands come behind us. We'll do a little counter stretch, lifting the hips up. Try to hold a couple of breaths. Chin can be in or head resting back, whatever's more comfortable for neck. Take another 3 cycles of breath. 3, 2, 1. Lowering down, let's come to kneeling. And take it at your own pace, cats and cows. Vertebrae starting to round up and down. Feel how the muscles are doing all around the back. Then we'll start to move a little bit more into the shoulders, trying to get that spot a little more warmed up. So you've got two options. Option one, slide forward toward cobra, and then slide back toward child pose. Trying to get the shoulders to go through their range of motion there. Option two would be down dog to up dog. So it's really up to you, whatever feels the most useful for the shoulders right now. Maybe 5 more rounds if that's doing okay, depending on the pace that you're taking. Let this next one be your last one, wrapping up in downward facing dog. Give it the body some movement if it needs it to help more and more muscle groups out. Let's start to work the feet up toward the top of the mat. For a moment, let's come up to a half lift, a spot where any roundedness in upper back is taken out. And release down. Take another inhale. Exhale. Next inhale to rise. Maybe bend knees, maybe not. It's all up to you how you come up. Good. Hands down at the heart. 3 times move with the breath. Inhale, the arms circle through the sides to come up. Exhale, just drop right back down at your sides. Those shoulders warmed up. Inhale, 2. And 1. Bring the arms back up, inhale. Exhale, left hand to front of mat, right hand to back of mat. Inhale, right back up center. Exhale, second side. And 2 more each. Shoulders more and more warm. Last one each. Good. With this last inhale, we'll take the exhale to dive all the way down. Inhale, a nice half lift. Spine gets that nice flat spot. And exhale, hands slide down onto the ground. Step back to plank or kneeling plank. As we lower to the ground, stay. And 5 times, trying to engage mostly back muscles. So even floating hands, if that helps you, make sure you're using mostly back. Inhales, lift up, engaging back. Exhales back down. Repeat 4. 3. 2. 1. Good. Imagine from here as you tuck your back toes, you're trying to press up to a push-up pose and then up to down dog. So we'll take a side plank variation. Both heels rock over to the left. The right foot slides forward, kind of at the space of the hips, and then right hand lifts up to the sky. So that's trying to help open up hip and IT band. Don't worry, we'll have more variations for later. Good, one more inhale. Exhale as right hand goes down, right foot slides back. Shift the heels to right. Left foot slides forward, left hand up. Feel yourself lifting up to the point where that hip engagement is there. One more inhale. Exhale, left hand down, left foot back, downward facing dog. Float the right leg clear up to the sky. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, right foot steps forward in between hands. The back knee softly lowers to ground. One hand on each side of this leg. You've got a couple of options. So sinking hips forward, hands on ground is option 1. Up on blocks is option 2. Up to thigh is option 3. But make sure you're not just kneeling. You're definitely shifting forward. Imagine that's kind of like the flip-on switch for some factories. On the hips, psoas, and all sorts of good areas around there. More breaths, nice and slow. And then as we start to drop hands down, it's going to be a variation of pyramid pose that gets us into the calf. So take it step by step, tuck the back toes, lift that back knee, slide the back foot in to the point where heels are down. So based on how you're doing here, you could be on blocks, you could be up hands to hips or hands to floor. The big thing is we do want to try to lift the front foot up, only the heel is on the ground. And so if that's really hard to do from this stance, back foot slides in even more so that this front foot can easily come up to the calf stretch. If it can be further back like pyramid, that's great too. A couple breaths, really breathe into that calf, front legs trying to straighten. Good, and take a couple of breaths to that foot resting back on the ground, regular pyramid. Beautiful. So as we start to ease out of this, bend the knee until hands plant flat on the floor. We're stepping back to plank or kneeling plank. Lowering belly down to the ground, we'll stay. This time, instead of back muscles getting us to lift 5 times to cobra, it's going to be mostly arm strength. So keep the elbows squeezing in, push hands into the ground. I'm only going to come up to the point where I'm like halfway lifted, like a 90-degree bend in the elbows, and then it's the arm strength that's lowering me back down. So 4 more, inhale, arm strength to lift, and lower. 3, 2, 1. Tucking back toes, try to lift up like a push-up. And then up to down dog. From down dog, you're welcome to take the same variation of side plank that we did before, or take normal side plank. So either way, heels to the left first, right hand up. You're sliding right foot forward, that would be that variation. Good. Right hand down, switch heels over. Hand down, downward facing dog. Good. Lift up high. Good. So left leg floats, reach it high. Step left foot in between hands, back knee down. Sit that spot, maybe hands on floor. Maybe block. Maybe coming up to thigh, but keep hips turning, shifting forward. Easy breaths. Try to maintain it so it's easily accessible. Good. So as we start to drop hands down, we're working toward that variation of the pyramid. So tuck the back toes, lift up that knee, slide the foot in at least till that feels flat. Maybe even scooting it in closer if that's what you need to be able to lift the front foot up. Only the heels touching down. So feel how that intensifies the calf. A couple more breaths right there. And foot resting down, a few more breaths right here. If there's a bend to your knee, try to take that out. Sometimes that means I need to lift a little bit higher. Good, and we're gonna shift back to plank or kneeling plank. So hands are planted, start to walk the feet back, lowering belly to ground, stay. Based on how your back feels, we're taking full cobra. This is arm strength and back strength. Try to find a balance of both. So inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Feel which muscles are engaging to find that lift. Try to use both arm and back. Exhale, lower. Take another 3. And 2. And 1. Good. Tuck the toes. Try to do the push-up. Come up to down dog. Don't worry, we'll be done with our arm strength in just a moment. So we're going to take one more variation of a side plank. You're welcome again to just take variation 1 or 2 that we've already practiced. With this variation, I like to start with the right leg floating up to sky. And then I take that right knee to the nose, shift that knee to the left, and then straighten the leg out to the side from that angle. So it's like a tumbled tree, and then left hand would lift up to sky. Good. When you've been there for 2 or 3 breaths, drop the hand down, Three-legged dog, right leg back up to the sky, and then right foot to ground. Okay, so another side, left leg floats, left knee to nose. Twist that knee over to the right before you straighten the leg out to the side, and right hand rises. Good. You've been there for a breath or two. Hand down, three-legged dog, foot to ground, and let's walk our way up to top of mat. Good work. We'll do some standing poses for a little while so the arms get a good break. Let's come up to a nice half lift. Round and drop down for a breath. Forward fold. Getting back into the leg stretches. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise. You can take bent knee. You can go fast, slow, whatever's going to work right here. Good. Hands to heart. Let's balance, floating right knee in front of us. And right knee down. Left knee. As it drops down, big toes come close together, heels are slightly separated. We're sitting back like we're going into a chair. And see if your fingers can touch the ground. We're trying to sink our hips that low. So from the legs staying in that position, sweep the arms up by the ears. Allow yourself to circle the right hand up and back. And then return up to go forward. Left hand up to go back. And forward. Hands to heart, straighten the legs. Floating the right knee. Maybe stay or maybe take a twist. Left hand to the thigh, right hand behind. Good, return. Right foot down, left knee floats. Maybe a twist. Return. Big toes close, heels slightly separated. Sit back like that chair. Take a moment to drop the fingers down. That kind of measures. See if we can stay that low. Arms sweep up by ears. Right hand circles up to go back. Move through that shoulder. And return. Left arm. Return. Straighten the legs, hands to heart. Floating the right knee, you could stay or take right ankle to left thigh, bending standing leg. Try to drop down, maybe hands to leg or elbows to leg. And coming up, let this right foot cross over the left foot. Just take a moment to round the spine down. This is an IT band stretch for the back leg. Slow rolling of the spine up. Uncross. So right foot is back down, left knee floats. Either stay or take left ankle to right thigh, bending standing leg. Finding a way to sit back if possible. Good. Coming up. Continue to cross this leg over and round down. Easy roll of the spine back up. Uncross. Big toes close, heels slightly separated. Sit in the chair. Maybe fingertips try to touch the ground, see if you can squat that low. Sweep the arms by the ears. Right hand circles up and back. Return. Left arm. Turn. So straighten the legs, drop the hands by the sides. Right hand stays on that thigh. Left hand circles up and over to the side. And come back up to switch. Good, coming back up. Float the right knee. Maybe stay, or maybe left, take the normal twist, or left hand grabs the foot. Straighten the leg out to twist. Good. Let the knee bend, torso forward. Kind of travel back through warrior 3. Softly land the back foot, warrior 1, arms sweep up. Inhale. Exhale, rotate open, warrior 2. And a couple of breaths to just enjoy extended side angle. Front elbow rests down, the top arm stretches up and over. Good, open back up, warrior 2. Shorten the stance back to warrior 1. We're gonna come into a balance, floating that right knee in front of us again. Cross the thigh over and round down for a couple of breaths. Good, rolling up, one more side. Uncross, right foot is our standing foot. Left knee floats, maybe stay balanced here, maybe take a twist here, or right hand grabs that left foot. Straighten it out in front of you to twist. Good, return forward, bend knee, sweep back, warrior 3. Soft land, warrior 1. Open up, warrior 2. Extended side angle. The length happening through the side body, like we're trying to open up factories there. Good, warrior 2. Short stance forward, warrior 1. Gonna float that left knee forward. Cross it over. One last time, roll down to the IT band stretch. Bend the knees to roll up. Uncross the feet. Let the arms circle through their socket. Inhale, float up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands plant down, travel back to plank or kneeling plank. Stay lower down to the ground. Slide the elbows right under the shoulders. Then this is going to be a stretch for that upper back. So the right hand swivels in, as well as the left. Have it start off with the right arm in front. Both arms end up parallel to top of mat. Good. So right hand walks to the left hand walks to the right. They're crossing midline. We're working it to the point where we're feeling the stretch in between shoulder blades. If you're not really there, bump the elbows forward another inch. And I'll usually curl my chin in before I rest it down, so it gives me lots of breathing. to walk the elbows back in. When you're back to Sphinx, give your shoulders a couple of shrugs before you switch sides. And then when you're ready, left arm will be in front. Walk the fingers back off to the sides. If you don't feel the stretch, both the elbows forward. And then remember, tuck chin in before you drop it down. Good, elbows walk back in. Maybe a few shoulder shrugs. Let's slide the hands in. Try to press up to a push-up. And come up to down dog. Right leg floats up to side. And then send right knee under and through to pigeon pose. Lowering down to sleep. We're going to shift to another IT band stretch. So walk up to hands first, and then rock the weight of your right hip onto the floor. Leave the leg at the back of the mat. This right leg tries to straighten off to that left side. So some of us will be at that 90-degree angle mark, some of us lower. If you're pretty flexible, maybe some of us higher. Whatever angle, we'll let the legs be straight. And then the next thing is to walk the hands kind of off the right side of the mat. So some of us might be up high, some of us might drop down to right elbow, or maybe both. The idea is stretching that IT band at the same time that we have weight on it, massaging it. Good, and then before we switch sides, just let both sitting bones come to the ground. This will kind of turn you open to the back door. Plant the hands in front of you and just take a moment to slide forward. Walk the hands back in. Got one more side. Let's start with the down dog. Whenever you're there, lift left leg. Take it to pigeon. And rest. Okay, the moment shifting toward IT band, come up to hands, rock weight onto left hip. Then this left leg tries to straighten out to the side, maybe 90 degrees higher or lower. Hands walk a little bit off the left side of the mat. Maybe left elbow down. Sometimes right also. And from here, rock both sitting bones open. We're kind of facing toward front door side. Just find the hands on the floor in front of you. Just slide. Good. So as we start to ease out, this is starting to get toward our transition to Shavasana. So if there's any last seated poses or maybe laying poses, any other things that you need to include for your practice before you wrap up, this is that good time to start doing those things. No rush to get to Shavasana, but sooner or later we'll all end up there. Just when you get there, sooner or later, let the breath, the biggest thing we're trying to focus on. Slow, easy breaths in and out. Imagining that's kind of helping us to supercharge our little factories. Helping them feel more happy, more willing to release energy to help us get through this awesome week we have ahead of us. Okay, let's start to deepen our inhales. Our exhales. Begin to introduce movements back to toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching it out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. Perhaps taking a nice fetal position off to one side. Enjoy a few bonus breaths here, maybe 3 or 4, until you feel ready to rise sooner or later. As we rise with our hands together in front of our hearts, we begin to tune into the little tiny energy factories in our body. And it's so funny how expending energy somehow gives us more energy. It's like you think working out would leave you tired, but usually it energizes you for the rest of the day. So with us having strengthened spaces all over the body, but also help to stretch them out really nicely, imagine it's like we help to massage those mitochondria, helping them feel more willing to send us energy that we need through this week, so we can get all the good things done that we need to. Maybe things that have been on our hope and dream list for years. Maybe things that are just little reminders from our intuition. Ooh, reach out to this person this week. So with this excess energy to lead us on, let's wrap up the time we shared together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. Om. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.